good times.
One good thing about music, when it is
good music, good times, delivering the best.
Smartin, GMGT, good music, good times, where the culture lives. Keep it locked. Smartin said that. Easy. GMGT, big, 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 where the culture lives. Big, big, vibes big, big, big. GMGT, oh, it is what it is. Smartin.
Good music, good times.
one good thing about music, when it is
Good music, good times, delivering the best.
Mama Africa, Mama Africa, am I coming home? Am I coming home? Hello, Mama Africa, how are you? I'm feeling fine, and I hope you're fine too. Hello, Mama Africa, how are you? I hope when you hear these words, your grace turn blue, grace turn blue. I'm saying these words to let you know how much I care, and I won't let go, even though we're oceans away. You're with me day by day. Memories of you keep flashing through my mind. The very thought of you make my time. Hello, Mama Africa, how are you? I'm feeling fine, and I hope you're fine too. Hello, Mama Africa, how are you? I hope when you hear these words, your grace turn blue, grace turn blue, grace turn blue, grace turn blue.
Baby, I've gotta call you out. I feel the need for you tonight. I'm over my little apple. I'd certainly take a bite. My poor body's calling and needs attention fast. Till you're here beside me, baby. That's how long this pain's gonna last. You gotta come back home. Come back home. You gotta come back home. You gotta come back home. Can't remember how long it's been. I sure lost track of time. Don't ask me how I'm doing. I can't say I'm doing fine. My world is topsy-turvy. Everything is upside down. It's no use explaining. Got to come see what's going on. You gotta come back home. Oh, baby, I know the people coming. I see people coming. Now Jack is the Mac and he comes around every Monday. Oh, Tuesday and Wednesday. Every day of the week. And even though I try to tell you that I love you from the bottom of my heart, you had no place for me. It's all vanity. You fell for one of them sweet lies. The kind you doubt still you wanna believe. When the heart's not hearing what the brain is saying, and you're weak in the knees. Another sweet lie. The kind you doubt still you wanna believe. When the heart's in doubt, you got to stay out. Now the wine and the roses stopped running around some time ago, but you won't admit that's so. You look at me at 2:45. I wanna go home, that's where I should be. Don't know what to do or what I should say. Gotta make up my mind before night turns to day. Be early, she told me, I'll be waiting for you, honey. I'll make something special for you. Now how am I gonna enter? I can't afford to wake her with lipstick stains. I've got to tiptoe. Now double trouble is waiting. It's wrapped up in my bed. I'm tired, I'm sleepy, can't take the noggin in my head. Double trouble is waiting. It's wrapped up in my bed. I'm so tired, I wanna go home. Now,
inside, baby, there's no reason to hide. Oh me, oh my, pretty baby, don't be shy. Baby. Oh me, oh my.
Yeah. I stopped sending flowers to your apartment. You said you weren't around much anymore. Yeah. I stopped dropping by without an appointment. 'Cause I heard laughter coming through your door. Sometimes late at night you still call me. Before you close your eyes to sleep. Yeah, I made a vow that I would drop by sometimes. But that's a promise I can't keep. 'Cause I love you too much to ever start liking you. Let's leave the story at an end. No, I love you too much to ever start liking you. So don't expect me to be.
Oh baby, I would have given you all of my heart, but there is someone who tore it apart, and
inside my heart. There's nothing but love for you inside my heart.
Talk to you, but it's not the same as touching you. Yes, I'm missing you. Missing you. Talk to you, but it's not the same as touching you. And every time you whisper my name, I wanna run to you. We'll be together, and it won't be long. It won't be long, but it seems like forever. Yeah, and it's out of my own, baby, 'cause I'm missing you now, and it's driving me crazy, 'cause I'm needing my baby. I'm missing you now. Yeah. Can't wait another lonely, baby, 'cause I'm missing you now. Don't go. Needing you right here by my side.
Now that I've lost everything to you, you say you wanna start something new, and it's breaking my heart to leave. Baby, I'm grieving, but if you wanna leave, take good care. Hope you find a lot of nice things to wear, but then a lot of nice things turn bad out there. Oh, baby, baby, it's a wide world. It's hard to get by just upon a smile, girl. Oh, baby, baby, it's a wide world. I'll always remember you like a child, girl. You know I've seen a lot of what the world can do, and it's breaking my heart in two, because I never wanna see you sad, girl. Don't be a bad girl, but if you wanna leave, take good care. Hope you find a lot of nice friends out there, but just remember there's a lot of bad air everywhere. Oh, baby, baby, it's a wide world. It's hard to get by just upon a smile, girl. Oh, baby, baby, it's a wide world. I'll always remember you like a child, girl.
Only you can make me feel just like a king. Love you give to me, sorry, makes me give in. Girl, just like magnet, just steal your love, keeps pulling me in. If it's a battle I fight for you, I have to win to prove to you my love so deep within. It's even getting deeper since I represent longing for my baby to love me more. What am I longing for? Babylon release the cure. What am I longing for? My baby to love me more. What am I longing for? Babylon release the cure. Yes, you got to be strong and be all the best you can. The world is out there, conquer your fears and down your ways too long. Yes, you got to be strong and be all the best you can. The world is out there, conquer your fears and down your ways too long.
One set of footprints in the sun, and you a rumble and a screw. You think it should have been two. Remember one thing, me out of Father God of the plan. So when you see one set of footprints, I gotta carry you.
Hurry up and come back, was the last thing she said to her son. The day his life was taken, she didn't know he wouldn't come back. He died from the bullet of a gun, and now her little boy's gone.
When I see my friends become my enemy, I have to far. No link, no bar. Cause I know dirty heart can't sweep with broom. They are like the trees we can't bloom, and they shall slowly fade away. And I know dirty heart can't wash with soap. The meditation twist up like rope, and they shall slowly fade away.
But I'm not secure in no domain. Enough of them now go like that show ya. Why? Batman stuck in a them head like a tumor. Them fake like tree stripe. Pan a night made by Puma. Them devil leap a lies, paddle leap a rumor. Start go you not to them a say you work a phone. Get your visa you fly out. Them a pray for you drop out them. Sit down a calculate for in and you account them. Say them are your friend, but them heart warm about to me say.
Well, dirty heart can't sweep with broom.
Good and never.
They are like the trees we can't bloom.
Good and never.
They shall surely fade away. And I know dirty heart can't wash with soap, and there is no bad mind antidote. They shall slowly fade away.
So if you're looking for me in a reggae party, me there in a the corner. Yeah. So if you're looking for me in a reggae party, me there in a the corner. Me have a drink in a me left and a me right, and have a spliff of marijuana. And when the bassline jump in a the rhythm, I feel wind up and a dance. Me just a wine to the rhythm, and later you know what coming after.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Morning, the wake up call. We gonna get something. Let me get that one on here. All it good?
Yeah, we good.
Great.
All it good? All it just good, man. Don't tell me all it just
We
good.
real good.
I tell you, I ain't just nice.
You're real nice.
All right then.
Yeah, good morning. Is the wake up call with all my boy, the soca enthusiast, and the oh God, this boy, this
Yeah, that's it, right?
Hold on.
Put some bass in it.
The mad one.
Yeah.
The mad rush.
Well, I'm gonna go calling just now and on cost you for that.
Yo, good morning, peoples. Good morning. How you doing outside there? Tell me that. You doing good?
Good.
Enthusiast?
Yes.
How was your weekend?
It was a little boring. I need to fat.
Bored? Why you ain't call me?
You serious?
What you mean it's another Father's Day and I no kids? You can't link, man. Don't worry.
I thought yesterday the man, it's Friday, the man give you eye contact to tell you where okay.
What?
You pick
After
up
Friday, Russian never called me, so you know.
Oh, so he's a fake, he's a fraud. Oh, so
are we gonna lie?
Only mouth you have in
I
studio.
gotta pull a
Only
beanie
in
man.
the
I gotta
studio.
pull a beanie man here. You really wanna be that person right now? We got over 2,000 people on the platforms locked in. Do you really wanna be that person?
Okay.
Am I lying?
I got receipts.
Oh God.
Did you call me? Did you say
did.
Priscilla? No, you didn't. You called me?
Oh, she put you on the spot.
We ain't talk all weekend.
Hey, it's a woman at the end. You know they sticking to the life.
She only, yeah.
You know.
I sure she man listening. That's why she gets on like that, you know. If it wasn't for she man, she'd be like, shh.
What man?
So what about your weekend?
Told you another Father's Day with no responsibilities other than my dog, and
God.
You enjoy yourself?
at that time,
Yeah, that thing.
I had a great time.
Well, that's good for you.
Why is she shaking her head at me? You know?
Because you didn't invite again. That's what going on there. So
You know
to
what?
hear you have a time.
We going out right after today's show.
Nah, yeah, giving me Russian strips.
Right after.
Giving me Russian strips.
Well, they play too much.
Well, I mean, my weekend was cool too, mellow. You know?
Mellow?
Yeah, mellow. Was a mellow.
You
one.
mellow?
Yeah. After that Friday
What
show.
is the world coming to?
Yeah, man. Yeah,
The soca enthusiast lying to people. I'm a mellow weekend.
Yes.
I never
You ain't
hear
call
that yet.
nobody, so I don't know what you're talking about.
I decided taking it easy. I mean, the family, it was a nice little family vibe this
That's
weekend.
good.
You know,
That's
so,
right.
yeah. I have responsibilities, unlike you.
I can't relate.
Yeah, I know. But still, happy Father's Day to you in the future. Coming, you know, any plans?
Don't put that on the atmosphere yet. Yet. Not in the near future.
You ready for that?
No.
Oh gosh. Well, I enjoy fatherhood. That's one of my favorite jobs, and I enjoy this weekend. This was the first weekend I even go on Facebook and stuff, right? And I didn't see a set of woman complaining and things.
Yeah, that's true.
I saw it at the end of the day. It was at the end of the day when
No.
It was at the end of the day when
Listen, it has been from the day before, the 2 days before, the day before, and the day. It normally is that day where you see
But the day
women-
of, I didn't really see anything either.
Nah, yesterday night is when the things start. That's when I saw the bashing start.
Well, let me say it's getting better. Whereas they big us up. I see a lot of ladies bigging up the guys and
Alright, now's a walk time.
I felt love this Father's Day from social media, from people around. You know what I mean? People actually take this Father's Day to a different level. I mean,
it's our work time. We waking up now.
Yeah, but boss,
we waking up now. It's
I feel
important.
it's like the times in it.
Right, and I feel everything is more of an uplifting vibe right now. So.
Yeah, I'll big up all this. I applause. With applause.
Get the applause and the bombs.
Okay,
just drop a bomb. It's okay.
All right. Big up all this. I mean, we could talk about fathers too. I mean, how about your happy Father's Day to your father?
Thank you. May he rest in peace. All my father pieces are gone. All of them. Yeah. All my mother pieces are still here. God bless.
Well, the same with me.
All the father pieces.
Yeah, my father.
My condolences. All my grandfathers and everybody gone. So this was the first time I really had to pay gifts and go all out and I even forgot it was Father's Day until I wake up in the morning and I was like, yo, why are they going by the cemetery? And they're like, it's Father's Day. And I was like, I should probably go by a visit.
But on a real, he left a good influence. He was there. And in your life, and he left.
Yeah.
I mean, we could talk about the positives.
Yeah, no. There's plenty positivity. Nothing bad to say about anybody in the family. I was, blessed.
Because you seem like a happy guy.
I'm
well grounded.
Do that.
What about you, Priscilla? How Father's Day? What is it for you? Meant for you and your father and everything? And
I feel like my dad is my foundation. So like I like celebrating Father's Day. Like I feel like he taught me like the basics. Like he's a part of who I am today. So.
Right. So that's good. That's good. I mean, for me, my two daughters is my world. So I appreciate it. I mean, my father. I always say. The childhood was good with him. Even I was on the let me see. I can put it out there. I was on the outside. Yeah.
From a long time.
I'll put it out there. I was on the outside. Yes. But I still thank him for passing through, doing his thing, and And when I was small, I still admired him, who he was. He was a manager and thing. I used to say I want to be like my father. He came around. He did when I was younger.
Yeah.
At a younger age. I mean, as we got older and he did a bit more, he made certain decisions that wasn't 100 for the family, and he wasn't around. So at the time, crucial times where I really needed him,
right,
and I needed a man figure in my life, he wasn't really there. And I want to say I'm still here. I'm still doing very good in my life, and I have some good women in my life too, and even the men that was around.
Plural.
Yeah, women. Yes. I had
plural.
some,
You had an E in there, no?
No, girl, family man is my mother. My mother when she was alive. My sister, when my sister played her role, I had to big up Molly Malls. If she listening, my sister Molly Robert, she did a wonderful job growing me up and stuff too. She tried her best. So, and I mean, that's all I can say. I'm okay. I ain't too bad.
Yeah,
I ain't too bad.
Ain't too mad.
So, but I never had any hate for him or anything like that. I thank God for being here. He was the man he chose. I'm here. And my boy is here, and I must thank my father for that too. It's not my mother alone. You understand what I'm saying? So big up all the fathers too who doing a really wonderful job, who doing what they have to do. You understand? And just sometimes it's just being there, simple and just a simple advice, a simple small thing. It's not really what they do, what they give, but it's just you had a father to.
So I was writing yesterday on Instagram and I was talking to somebody and I told them a lot of people hold resentment over petty arguments or certain decisions, and I'm telling everybody, it's like when they're gone, they're gone. So at the end of the day, whatever it is, unless it's like really, really grimy, you gotta put all that aside and say, yo, talk it out, hash it out, and make sure on a good, because at the end of the day, you have one father, you have one mother, and the rest of the family the same way. So all them petty little arguments, all them disagreements, it can be resolved.
Yes.
And before it's too late, you had to make sure everybody good.
Yeah, a conversation could do it.
Just one.
Yeah, sometimes.
Just one
And sometimes there's some little misunderstanding. Because in the heat of the moment, the argument, people shouting and they really hear and this and that. And then sometimes little talk, a little conversation and
goes a long way.
And let me be honest, we as Caribbean man, we extra stubborn. Right? We feel like, yeah. Well, I include in you. He's a Caribbean Russian. Yeah. Caribbean men.
You speak French now, boy.
You understand? But the Caribbean men.
Yes, I.
You know how we grew up and think the hardcore nature we grew up, we don't show too much emotions, this kind of thing. So even to go back and to say, well, let me go and talk and have this conversation. Let me go and apologize for something. It's something we tend.
Takes a lot.
Yeah, but I think we get in there.
Time needs to. I think time needs to change. Same way. Time for some more understanding and communication.
Yes. And with this time, with everything that's going on, the movement, you had so much time to reflect during this last few months. I don't know who did it, who just wanted to sit back and just stress about not being able to do what they want to do.
Right.
But there was the other hand, there was the other side where we get time to really sit down and think. But what
hash things out.
What I wanna do? Who are vexed? Who vexed with me? Who are wronged? Who are? Sometimes you get those little moments where you just reach out to people and you just so people do it today. Do it. Don't wait. As they say. You never know this thing called life, but you never know. Big up them all, big up Spice Kid Frank, big up Skidels, big up Christine, big up people on you know, call them Daniel Baptiste, big up yourself, you know what I mean? Little Natty, we have Little Natty on all that. Big up Natty. Jumbo, big up yourself, man. Belinda, Jason, Mirage, big up yourself, man, you know? We're gonna have a nice little time this morning on the morning show. Talking about what we talk about the men in life, you go.
Yeah.
We also want to discuss. You know, you want to discuss
something I don't have.
Yeah, mental health.
If I had it, I wouldn't be the mad one.
Yeah. But you have it, man. He's a cool fella. You know what you're doing.
Watch, she's still messing me. You know what?
Yeah, man. So watch. But big up all fathers. Just encourage all the fathers, live listening. To do what you had to do, you understand? Even something I wanted to ask you as a lady, though. Like, let's say you don't have any children at this moment.
Nah, not yet.
Okay, but you know other women, females in your life. Right? But there's situations where I see basically that sometimes the man and the woman, they follow it. The woman start to hate the man for whatever. He messed up big time.
Yeah.
And she now growing up that child mostly by herself. He might visit or he may not be as. You think it's okay for that woman to talk to that child in a bad way about her father, especially a child. I see some women doing that. Like, your father no good. I'm talking about 5-year-old, 6-year-old, 7-year-old because of their hate for the man and whatever. And you understand people get emotional. But how do you feel about situations like that? As a woman, people you have any friends in that situation?
I mean, my mom was a single mom, so she used to be in her bag a lot too. So it's just like, but that affected me too because I used to see my dad in a bad light sometimes. So it used to be like, oh, my dad, ain't,
Right. Actually,
so it's just like, I wouldn't, if I was in that position, you can only say what position you are in. Like, you could put your view on that, but I feel like when I have a kid, God forbid, well, not God forbid, it's not bad to be a single mom, but if I end up being a single mother, like, I wouldn't want to put my child's father in a bad light, especially if he's taking care of the child, if he's in the child's life, however he may be.
And even if he's not, let me ask, even if he's not, like, you think a 5-year-old, 6-year-old, you think
she shouldn't know. Even if he is a bad person, like, I wouldn't put that on my 5-year-old. I would want my child to know, to find out on her own how her father is.
We could have some conversation, but I think that we're gonna grow up. You're gonna
see for yourself.
See for yourself. Yeah. And I that's one thing I always praise my mother for. Like, certain things I just saw the best of my father when I was a little boy, and she allowed that. You understand? And so I saw the good things where he, as I said, like, he in the management, he in the office sitting down with his leg up. I said, nah, but I want to be a manager too. I want to be like my father. I want to do this.
Yeah, kids are very impressionable, so you need to, like, let them.
Right. And as I got older and I realized certain things myself.
Yeah.
You understand? I was able to handle it much better. I was able to, even reach out to him and have the conversation myself. Even I didn't get the answers I wanted.
Yeah.
But I didn't have that hate in me as a little child towards him. And I think that I thank my mother for that, for doing that. And I appreciate that, for and I don't know if you had any situations with that as well, like any friends, family, if you.
Well, I constantly see it on social media. Not just around fathers and children, altogether relationships, exes, and it's like a bitterness that I personally I don't understand because I'm somebody who again I find our society right now as a whole is missing this communication skill. We lack that. We'd rather cut somebody off because everything is so accessible via social media, outings. You can replace somebody in a heartbeat, but the issue is you can't. So in reality, you think you can, but you can't, and so we rather dismiss somebody that we argue with, and tell them off and flick them off and say goodbye, never talking to you again, and find somebody else to entertain our thing. And so, obviously, when it comes to it, the children need to stay out of it. Children are very impressionable.
Exactly.
Children see, children do. And with that being said, again, I think children need to be left out of your personal relationships unless the father is abusing the child, physically, whatever. If the father is neglecting his responsibilities as a father, even at that point, you need to let the child grow and see it for themselves rather than distill a hatred in them from an early age because they will absorb it. Children are like sponges, so whatever the situation is between you and your significant other or your ex-significant other has nothing to do with the child, and child needs to stay out of it completely.
I see Charlene on the live. She say, I think now it's better than before. It was really bad, but when they spoke bad about the father, I always say let the children find out on their own in due time. You understand? So, this is what I'm saying. We grew up. We all grew up. We all grew up. We will find, we will think on our own. But to put hate in a child I don't think is a good move. And ladies, I do understand because in a sense the frustration growing up children is not easy. You understand? I do understand the pain, the frustration, the sometimes trying to find out where you're gonna get the next meal and the put them to school and then this guy giving you trouble and I know
the father is living
like
lavish.
I know, and you might see him with something, and that's one of the things. Sometimes I know a situation that not I don't know the person close, but where he's not taking care of home and he pick up another woman and he's more into that side, the woman and her children, and he's doing everything and he's not handling business at home. I see situations like that could drive anybody up a wall. That's disgusting to me. You understand? As a man, I will just encouragement, listen, man, the children, you see
children need to, but that's why you feel I said what I said earlier because I don't want no children. As a man that is, I just listen, if you know me and you know how I am with my dog, I'm a dog daddy. I tell my lady send a text message this morning, my dog wasn't feeling good, I stay home a little bit earlier, stay a little late to come a little 5 minutes late, make sure she was good. I love kids. And God knows I can't wait to celebrate Father's Day as a father, but
you had to be ready for it.
It's a responsibility that requires me to be around, and somebody who travels constantly for carnival. I saw something, a friend Back to Basics posted something on Instagram the other day and yesterday, and he was like, I don't post personal stuff on my Instagram, but this is the first time in 5 years that I've got to spend Father's Day with my child because I'm constantly working carnival. And it was beautiful in a sense, but it was something that I also realized that I'm just simply not ready to have children, in the sense that I want to be able to be there for whatever, whenever I need to be. And I know that with the career paths that we all currently walk, these paths, they don't necessarily permit for a personal life at times. Unless you can juggle in a way, and it's I'm not ready to juggle that with.
I got
you.
You
go see how much I go do. Watch one of these Father's Days when I become a father. Y'all go see how extra I am.
I agree, but because sometimes I even wonder how people have it in them to walk out on children. Like no, but that's one of the most I don't know what it is with anybody. I don't know what people's stories are, but to see a child and to know what a child needs at all times, the attention and the requirements of children, and you just look in those eyes, those
not feel
innocent.
nothing.
And you know, children, they don't hate what you can give them a little tap and a little display, and the next minute they back at you like nothing. Somebody so innocent you can walk out on and just feel okay with that. Nah, that is that different level. I don't care what relationship you have, you had to try. I know we in a system I hear men, some men make at time my partner of mine, he was making excuses. Oh, the woman is. I say, listen, if just as how they can use the coat, you use the. Tell me you use everything first. You do everything you can.
Nah, man.
No, if no, I'm saying you have situations where it just can't work out with the woman, whatever reason you and the woman can't
and
get
that's
along.
fine, but you had to find a common ground for the child's well-being.
Right, but see, some people, based on, as you see, some people not ready, you know, to have children, but it happens. You understand?
Yeah.
It happens. Some people, in not the maturity level is not there to be. You know, you understand? I grew up fast when a child come, and some people not ready to do that, not ready to give up their life, their. You see, just as you doing, there is a balance. No one, yeah, like even with me, I travel a lot too. You travel, but you don't have any. I have a kid. I have to balance. Like for the carnival, my daughter, she's with me during the summer. Most summers she's with me the whole time. Sometimes she comes with me on interviews, and she wants, you know, as she older now, she wants to be. Once she wants to be a part, I'll allow her to. Certain things I can't let her in, late hours, whatever. I never, you know.
Right.
But she's there. She know what I do. She know what I do. You understand? But it's just amazing. Just some situations, I just feel there is no excuse. You have to you have to try. You have to go at every angle. If you try, I mean, I would love for in our society that we could just say, watch, we not together. We hate each other. But you see this little man or this little girl right there? What we gonna do ourselves? How much you need this week? How much you need? What you think is a good number? Let us reason as two adults. We go. I wish in a perfect world, even if it work, you know, I wish that we could get to that point where we could just have these conversations as couple or whoever, even if it didn't work out. This is what the child needs. This is because as a man, if it don't work out, personally, I see my child is being taken care of, well taken care of, right? I ain't wanna go through no court because first of all, if my child is well taken care of, that means he's opening a fridge way by his mother where his food is there all the time. His light is on where he can do so. He has Wi-Fi. He has all these things going on so the bills are being paid. So even if I take $500 give her, she do whatever she wants with it. Once I see my child
taken care of, what it is.
That's the most important thing. Because all these things that being covered that I know that I ain't paying my name in there on those bills and whatever. We shouldn't be. You should, because I see people like, I'm not taking no money and giving no woman and this and that because she want to do this. But your child is
getting taken care of.
Everything you see at the child, good clothes, books, everything. Now if you're seeing a child struggling, child, you know, blah blah. But
where my money
rare.
going? Yeah, that's understandable.
Yeah, it's understandable, but it's rare. In most situations, a woman will take care of a child. She will do what she have to do 100%. So I feel we as mentioned, just say sometimes, hey, let's do this. Let me make this work for the child. I mean, I not like, and we not have the best conversation, but let us do what we gotta do. You understand what I'm saying? So go ahead.
No, I wanted to ask you guys, like, okay, so there's a scenario where, like, let's say a woman decides to have a baby, but the guy already said that he doesn't want to be involved in that process. What do you guys think about that? Like, is he viable for not being around, or?
So, in the first place, let me just go back one. That's a conversation they have when she's pregnant, or that's something they.
I guess when it's early enough to have like an abortion, I guess.
Well, because my point is, like, let me go back. Let's step back one before I answer that question. What conversations are y'all having when y'all just meet?
Prior to sex.
Yeah.
Well, you know, some people don't have those conversations. You just go straight into it.
That's the thing. No, I mean, we could blame maturity on that. We could blame youth. We could blame whatever. But in this day and age, I mean, even with my daughter, I've been having those conversations a long time. Like, you know, she's 17 now. My big daughter, she's 17 now. I mean, since really 11, 12, how she's been exposed to social media. I've had certain uncomfortable conversation.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Are you ready for this? Are you ready to say, if a guy say blah blah blah, you have to ask certain questions. What you want personally? Anybody we can all have those conversations. You understand? No, it just can't be one day you get pregnant and man just say bam. That you have to know beforehand. Aren't you take some responsibility too,
right,
as a woman, right? With beforehand, we don't know who is who, but come on. I ain't accepting that so easy right now in this day and age. It's really a hard. I know it happens, but ladies, what conversation are you having? Right. Look how Madrashan put out. I ain't ready for this right now. I'm sure it's something.
I want it. I really want it. I just
how. So that part, it's kind of hard to even answer that now. Thinking about is like, was it a mistake? Y'all having on with niggas sex and not thinking that this could happen, and then
I'm very conflicted in how to even respond to this question because it varies from situation to situation.
Yeah, that's true. I feel like some people do it on purpose to lock them down. That's what I feel like.
Yeah.
But as I say, it's such an open question in the sense that you really don't know the intentions of people.
Yeah,
that's true. And then there's also people that don't believe in abortion and stuff too, so it's kind of hard.
Yeah.
So my whole thing is, you know the risks of having sex. It's not just kids. It's STIs, STDs, horn, all kind of thing. Right? You get a cutlass because you take down something you shouldn't take down. You know the risks. You're not taking the extra precautions. We could tell people. I don't understand. This is something that we're taught from young. This is not like nobody isn't discussing this. We're discussing. We have sex ed classes. We have all kind of information. You have artists singing about these things.
Yeah.
Don't be silly. Wrap you with what? One don't want kids. One don't want to use condom.
But
common sense.
Very much so.
We lack it.
Yeah.
We don't use our common sense. It's not as common as it should be. And so again, I don't really have an answer to that question because it varies based off of situation. But if the man don't want it,
oh God, boy.
I don't understand the mindset behind it because I'm somebody who really looks forward to fatherhood.
Yeah.
And I'm somebody who I just know. Like I'm super mentally prepared for it. Physically not, but mentally, like I can't wait. So I can't put myself in the proper mind state. I can't understand not wanting a child. Especially if it is your child. How you can look at your creation and say that you don't want it, that you have no kind of feelings toward it. To me, that is completely like, it's heartless. I don't understand it, but some people don't want kids, so to each their own. It's not for me to understand. I can't answer that question that way.
But that guy, the first place, you know you don't want kid.
Right.
You know that.
And I feel like those are the ones that be like, oh, but I don't like condoms. Like, I want to feel everything.
Get castrated, sir.
You understand? But you as a woman hearing that, it's not like a red flag too. Like,
of course.
Like, I mean, it's hard for me to really that one hard.
You have to go off of vibes too. Like, I feel like when you have sex with somebody, you have to go off the vibe. If you even choose to have sex with this person, you have to go off the vibe of that person. Like, you have to have discernment. Like, with the person I'm having sex with, is this person like responsible first though? Like,
there's characteristics you have to look at outside of just the discussion. There's signs.
There's red flags all the time.
There's always context clues to anything.
But when a man when she come to you and she says she's pregnant and this is case and a man say you don't want her nothing, that's not a man.
No.
I just can't reason with, because I can't put myself in that position. I just can't view that as a man. I just can't view him, you know.
But you can look at it from any aspect.
It's hard.
When we discuss women nowadays, and it's a disrespectful conversation, but something men look at is daddy issues. You constantly hear it. Daddy issues. My whole thing is, we might not have the conversation about kids or whatever, but the first thing in a woman, right, if I take you seriously, is I look at how you communicate with your family, how you communicate with your friends, what kind of friends and company you just keep, how you move on a daily basis in terms of work ethic, whether you go, and again, to each their own, some people may not be religious, whether you go in church every week, what your connection is spiritually. It doesn't have to be a church thing, it doesn't have to be a synagogue, it's whatever, but your spirituality, these are all things that can lead you in the direction, and it's not always 100% accurate, because you know, people can always wear two masks, but in the end of the day, most people are just not intelligent enough to hide their true colors, and if you really take a look at how they operate, you will know whether that person is fit for you to deal with or not fit.
And then the thing is, you see all what you just said, but sometimes, I don't know, in some women, like I can have the conversation that you feel for you it will be different. You see all these signs on both ends.
It happens all the time. From like a woman,
but from you still on one end sometimes will think, nah, I could change that.
Yeah, because you know, I feel like we see guys' potential. That's why, like, we see what he could be, you know. But some people just never reach that, you know. But
it does happen on both sides.
It does happen. Everybody have issues.
You haven't been. I've been on both sides of that. More on the women trying to change me part, but I, as of late, I find that I've been in a situation recently that I was trying to work around something that was clearly not fit for me, and it's like I've been on both sides, so and it's an understandable thing, but it's like you had to be logical.
For me, I put that on my youth when I went through that, you know, on my immaturity, and I personally, my general nature is to see good in everybody. Like, I believe I'll trust you until you give me a reason not to trust you. That is just how I am. I'm not going around saying I don't trust people and this and that. I give you, and I, whether it's a man, woman, whether friend, girlfriend, you know, whoever, I give you the benefit of the doubt when I meet you, and I take my time, and if you mess it up, you mess it up. You know, but before I had this thing, you know, you're youth. So I understand the youth part of it when you know, early. And you doesn't have to be something immaturity, something like with age, because I see some 30-something year old immature.
That age have nothing to do with your maturity.
Right. But people tend to, I look at, you gain experiences in life. Are you paying attention to your experiences? That's how I kind of see maturity, the experiences you have. Because sometimes at 40, I thought you could have probably never did something before. This is your first time, so you could, the mistake couldn't be made, and big 30-something year old man doing that, one woman, no,
but are they reoccurring
experiences?
This is the first time you're this is the first experience of this, so so I understand, you know. So if, as I say, if it's reoccurring, if you keep, then there's something else you gotta check out. You understand what I'm saying?
I hear you.
You understand? So it's a lot, that question, go back to that original question, is like it's a broad thing. It's a broad thing, you know. So, Russian, we're fine. You want a little couple minutes or something? We're fine. What we gotta bring in here? You want a little vibes?
We do a little reggae, we do a little dancehall vibe now.
Anything
some dancehall, old school vibe.
We go talk more on the other side about it, but you know, the music, we on the music too. So
let me party.
Yeah.
Drinking on me left and on me right, and have a spliff of marijuana. And when the bassline jumping on the rhythm, I feel wind up and a dance. Me does a wine to the rhythm, and later you know what coming after. I tell you what, I don't know about you, but I can only live my life one way. All I wanna do every day is I just wanna smoke, drink, and love my girl to some reggae. I call her on the phone, tell her I'm coming up, so get ready. I got some weed and a bottle of booze. All I wanna do is smoke, drink, and love my girl to
we think constructive and great.
I just gotta say, smoke your guns up.
What
It gives you a good sense of humor. None of mercy. And keep away from the cancer. None of mercy. I just gotta say, I got my ganja diploma. I went to the ganja college. None of mercy. Increase my wisdom, understanding, and my knowledge. None of mercy. Just gotta say, big up a man called Kochi. Ganja, feel nobody dodgy. None of mercy. Hey, smoke your herb, give down some praise. It make we think constructive and brave. Because it was born on King Solomon grave. He was the wisest man in his days. Oh, I'm serious, man, I make no joke. Ganja me smoke and not coke. I will never drink them rum and me no eat pork. I go sailing on this white man boat.
When I was a little stereo, I listened to some champion. I always wonder when I will be the number one. Now you listen to the Gargan, and a Gargan sound a rain. And any jump and come test me, me a go leak out them brains. So sound boy, you should have died at the dance gate, you know, but you a test the high power. You should have died for your beauty session, cause you know me a the danger.
Now hear this, I tell you, if you come in your competition, come straight way. Cause if you come sideways, rude boy, you ain't another one. Wanna listen? There's nothing you can do could make me run away from this clash, yeah. This clash, yeah. And there is no DJ can put a competition to Ninja. Yes, I'm telling you from the start, I will break your whole heart and leave on the dung ground, cause I'm the real poison tart. There's no word you can say that it could offend the Ninja. You tell me guy murder them. In a competition, a guy murder them.
Now it's time for the special dedication to all the girl I'm on the most loving thing. You tell me what you thinking, change the drinking, don't so voting, Mr. Dinkin, what's the thing you start and it's sinking. Tune the demon, super cat and Nicodemus talking. What I'm talking, say this, stabbing cabin for this, stabbing cabin, and stabbing cabin for this, stabbing cabin, bim, stabbing cabin for this, stabbing cabin. Mr. Shelby, Mr. Nathanos, what is it mean?
The meaning of cabin stabbing. Say when you have a girl in your house just loving, cut down June and they must be rough like chicken.
Yes, the meaning of cabin stabbing.
Shabba.
I don't know a girl
light. You're a nice and decent, well brown top girl. Need the pillow to my chest, the mixtures to my world. Lighten up my night and you're no shine, shine, girl. I want you hold your life and your life.
Saddest day of my life is when she left me with a broken heart. I was feeling the pain, the pain, the pain. The saddest day in my life is when she left me with a broken heart. I was going insane. Taking a ride, a ride, a ride, a ride. It's alright. Here's the money. Taking a ride, a ride, a ride, a ride. It's alright. Here's the money. Hey, Mr. Mention, ask yourself this question. Wanna say, oh no, I done, man. And I wanna run the program. Tell me, have you ever stopped to think what make a girl cheat? Have you ever asked her if she like how you do it? You need to check yourself before you start kiss your teeth. You're not ready for this. Remember it was under the sycamore tree. A boy want me bow, want me tell him to flee. I tell you it was under the sycamore tree. The sun stopped shining for them. Tell you it was under the sycamore tree. A boy want me bow, want me tell him to flee. I tell you it was under the sycamore tree. The sun stopped shining for me.
Me wanted to call for Jacqueline, but me have to draw for my robots, for my robots. Sex nice, but the hate sting. We make you die like flowers, die out like flowers. Me wanted to call for Jacqueline, but me have to draw for my robots, for my robots. Sex nice, but the hate sting. We make you die like flowers, die out like. When me stop and me looking at me crystal ball, me get to realize that no man on a wall. A most pretty girl you can't touch them at all, at all, at all, at all. Hey, you find a young girl and true she small. You think that she not give you bun with ball, but if you ever hear how much name a call.
I am dangerous, yeah. I am dangerous, yeah. In God I put my trust, yeah. And when the sun comes shine and the rain comes fall, I am dangerous, hey. And when the moon and the nights and it shines so bright, I am dangerous, hey.
You think we don't know the world them no like me. See them all hype up, but that still not strike me. But me a cut and got choke all loving on me heart. Enough of them want to spite me.
Who know something I no want them around me. While see me dead, so them can get fi moan me. Team man start from a state so fi stone me.
Make them body evil and me heart them surround me.
Well, boy, like a me no, team man now go crown me. Media on the press, I try them best fi show me. Can't see me feel some, but that still no ground me.
Make them body evil and me heart them surround me.
Well,
We no like hypocrite and parasite and we no like they are mad as man and we stop and we no like niggas when they overhype fussy way I give you a fight so call between they backbite we no like watch it woman satellite and we no like see how we prefer night and we no like y'all are coming out with sight and then they be full of strike y'all be open up
Them searching, that is why they pirate our things. And them searching, like what just wanna clip them wings.
Hey, see the girl them. Big up me and the girl 'cause she joke the best. You know me love this something with that girl you possess. Right now things are manifest. I'm a wife of Philip. I fi tell you the truth, me no breast. 'Cause me girl from the side joke the best. All when she ready fi go love and caress. And she have the bump on the chest. Some other girl have it. Right now what she me have in a minute. Never stop.
I'm on the go. I know you know. God know. I'm on the go. But bad man I try to stop me though. I know I'm on the go. Yeah, love me all coming up off the show. Yeah. I'm so special, so special. That's why I'm strapped with my 45 special. Boy, I pretty much together, them want chase like petal. Tanja, I'm so special, so special.
Well, we say, who God bless, wanna know the rest. Follow me now, the Almighty protect me. The Lord will not forsake me. Jana, go make me suffer by the hands of the wicked. So when the then them a wicked. We no care if they hate me. No, our God now forsake me. Jana go make me suffer by the hands of
Forever.
Not nice.
Me never born uptown with no gold spoon in a me mouth. Me never born as no rich man son in a no rich man house. Enough time, my father come in from work and never dime. Enough time, me see me poor mother cry got no food yeah. Selassie, I love we. Selassie, I love we. Rastafari, Holy Emmanuel, I Selassie, I love we.
The last is hustle man a hustle. Want the food, so I hustle man a hustle. We not stop from trying. We must rich, mama don't cry. I tell, believe me now. Well, man, want money in them pocket. All who have gun go lock it. Violence and crime rate to no fi drop it. Cause man want food. Hustling, hustling. One day me say me must get rich money. In the safe invest just in case. I fi make sure me build my base. Man want food. Hustling, hustling. One day me say me must get.
Jah make you watch over. Jah beg you watch over us as I smoke up and drink up. We going to party tonight, yeah. We going to party tonight, yeah. Ladies, if you love excitement, come let me rub you the right way. We going to party. We going to party tonight, yeah. Jah beg you watch over us as I smoke up and drink up. We going to party tonight, yeah. We going to party tonight, yeah. Ladies, if you love excitement, come let me rub you the right way. We going to party tonight, yeah.
What should you tell when you are buying new? Be more careful, do you confide in her. I know anybody pour my drink, I know anybody buy my dinner. So hard for just your enemy, hard for just your friend, just your friend. Me nah lie, me love me family, but me not trust you all of them. All of them, my town. But that's how me feel. Big up and rule, cause up a sunny kneel. All of me long time brother from Teachfield. Long time petro them a whole heap on the battlefield. Some of them filled with grudge. My dogs are the realest dog, and my heart clean, filled with love. And all the woman make it now. You know how struggle feel. I mean, know all of them. I mean, know how real. I make them trick me and kill me. No way, you must see me. Life are the greatest thing that me no let my God. You can't trick me and kill me. No way, you must see me. Life are the greatest thing that me no let my God.
My dog them a feelings. My dog them a feelings. The bank the girl. Who no like how we a live. Pinting for bed, pinting for bed. Flying go family. My dog them a feelings. My dog them a feelings. The bank the girl. Who no like how we a live. Pinting for bed, pinting for bed. Flying go family.
Coachy load from in a Netherland. Where the grabbers think like Ali get up on. The scheme hot today we are the weatherman. A boy full of chat, so me a fi say no man. Long time now we been a plan. So we circle elements like the letter man. Get a van, make a man drive down.
Every get a youth make some money. Get pretty chick, keep your eyes on the dogs, cause some of them a snitch. From man a school youth, me fi know this. And the borrow man think, cause them reproach quick. Keep your eyes on the price, blending and disguise. Touch cassava and me always say trend. Plus the boy could I ever say that my big friend. Come and roll with the one king, that's the president. Aim for the stars, but me reach to the moon. Every youth while latest designer, room full of shoes. Every pretty girl, I feel rush one dog when me pass through. You never don't like me, say me don't like you. Man, I winner.
Don't come in on my way. Love the money, so me keep stacking up. Bad girl, keep back it up. Man, for this boy can't say me lucky. Treat the bad youth, me not fi follow make sacrifices if you want reach to the top. Chase for your goals, dog, don't give it up. Protect your 3 points when you panic go. Cause you know enough of them. Pretend to be your friend, but they not feel like you. Get the youth, you better open your eyes now. Vision, me get the future look brighter. What me do? Stacking up the money now. Can't trust them. Oh, no. Two-faced friend. Hey. Stacking up the money now. Can't trust them. Why that?
Yeah, man. You're on the beat, boy. Back up on a shotty. She love the style, the cash and the party. Come Belmont once and she feeling naughty. So me make plans to after the party. Cause one thing we like, a girl alone. Monsters out late night, left she man alone. Say she want come out in the bad zone. And she man for spice, making drinks. All the gal them love it on one side. Yep, on one side. We'll do anything when the I6 outside. Kelly beats bring up tough girls from the south side. Real cheese make people.
Welcome to Sesame Street, where them gal and them sweet. Trinidad gal, fat up and neat. 17 with a big belly, cause you know how these are them do it. Welcome to Sesame Street, where them gal and them sweet. Trinidad gal, fat up and neat. 17 with a big belly, cause you know how these are them do it.
My girl, you're sweet like pineapple, you're sweet like tangerine. And I have this. Hey, Choppy. My girl, you're sweet like pineapple, you're sweet like tangerine. And I have the sweetest piece of wine here for you. The way that you're giving the vibes, I just want you next to me. And I hear watching you all night, I love off your energy. All night, your waist moving. I see you know what you're doing. All night your body talking. You think speaking my language. You have me like, oh Lord, oh. I'm feeling like I just spent the lotto. You have me like, oh Lord, oh. You are the captain. Sail away. Watch my hands on your waist and I'm trying to navigate. Sail away. Anchor down, let me dive in, girl, don't make me wait. Sail away. To the ends of the globe and right around again. Sail away. Oh Lord, sink or float, I don't care what you're doing. Throw me overboard. I don't need no lifeguard, oh Lord. Rocking back and forth like a tidal wave. You are the captain. Throw me overboard. I don't need no lifeguard, oh Lord. Rocking back and forth like a tidal wave. Watch me now. Me say one stroke, two stroke, three stroke. You're feeling sweet like the calypso. Me say one stroke, two stroke. You're feeling sweet like the calypso. I'm thinking to myself where you come from. Who's send you over here? No one from. Checking just to see where you're leaving.
What I'm looking for is a romantic kind of girl to make me feel warm and comfortable. Wrap me up like a sheet, tape on a bed. Give me shivers like a brain, freeze in me head. And girl, I wonder where you get that formula. The way you slow wine, girl, you make me come over. And I want you to wine and hold me tight. I want you stay for the rest of the night. Girl, I wanna slow wine on ya. I wanna move, you make me groovy like so. Girl, slow wine on ya. I wanna feel you, yeah, yeah. Slow wine on ya. Mama, let me rock the bumper now. So just show me where you going on. Show me where you represent and why. Girl, represent and why. You get 10 out of 10 that why. With that 10 out of 10 waistline. And represent and why. Girl, represent and why. You get 10 out of 10 that why. With that 10 out of 10 waistline.
Y'all if you're ready, let me know. No set a long talking where you for. Wine to the ground, y'all drop to the floor. Oh yo, oh yo. Well if you're ready, let we go. Start up the countdown, time for the show. If that is where you want, take one for the road. No, but take anything now. Don't take it personal. It's just a one night jam. Don't make it personal. I hope you understand. Don't take it personal. It's just a one night jam. Just get to work, girl. Don't make it personal. Once we reach, we started. It's we who bring madness to this thing. It's we who bring back banana. Once we reach, we started. It's we who bring madness to this
I feel you. I could feel your love and push it through. Just say you want me. Say you want me to. You need to.
The way you wind up on me, the way you push up on me, the way you twist up on me, I can tell that you want me. The way you bend your back and push back and bubble up and wind up.
I know you want me, I know you want me, I know you want me.
And I like it like this,
just like this.
And I like it like this,
just like this.
I like it like this,
just like this.
I like it like this,
just like this.
I like it like this.
You like this. I like it like this. I like it like this.
She bubbling up in front of me. She walking up right in front of me. Whining like she was somebody to deal with. She gets. She push right back on it and rock out on it. Murder, she start pile up on it. She knock me down and have me busy. So don't bother me right now. Can't talk to me right now. I'm in the middle of something. In the middle of something. Don't call me up, don't bother. Just please leave me alone. I'm in the middle of something. In the middle of something.
Hey, 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 party mash up again. Hey, hey, girl them bubbling. Hey, hey, bring all your friend them. Hey, hey, everybody drinking. Hey, hey, who cares what they think? Hey, hey, spiff, 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 spiff. Everybody singing. Boy, we don't have no behavior. Total disorder. Don't cross the border. Don't cross the border. Bartender, hurry up with my order. Boy, the whole place get turned over. Can't play mass if you're afraid powder. Everybody know every time we touch down is splinters. Dance mash up, fine, 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 yo, Holland pull up. Mash it up, fine, fine, fine. Every man put your hand up, every girl start whining. Splinters. Dance mash up, fine, 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 yo, Holland pull up. Mash it up, 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 mash it up. Party time, party time again, oi. Party time, party time again, oi. Yeah, 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 yeah. You have liquor in your cup and put it up. Party bad up, bad up. Top bottles will be pop. Still the bar club. Hey baby, the whole team link up. Now everything sync up. Now we're higher than a tree top. Gonna shell it like we never did before. And this party, we party, we party, we love. Party, we love. Party, we love. Party, we party, we party, we love. Party, we love.
Since I'm young, since I'm small, I love to wine, make bam bam roll, love to wind up lower and come back up. When my head sits over, music and the rubber. Gimme, 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 hot, 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 hot. I like it hot. I like it hot, baby. I like it hot. I want it now. I like it hot.
Hey baby,
Gimme. I like it hot. I like it hot. I like it hot. I want it now. I like it hot.
hey baby, you look so good. Your life's so cold. You're special. Girl, if you know that your life's stress free, turn round and start to bend over. Girl, bend over. Girl, you're full of confidence. Some girl vex 'cause they can't bend over. Girl, bend over. And then you jiggle it, you jiggle it, you jiggle it, you jiggle it. You love the bubbling, the bubbling, the bubbling, the bubbling. Get a good up, good up. I say a good up, girl. You good up, good up. I say a good up, good up. You're not careless, girl. Your life's so told. One girl, your life's so told. One girl, your life's so told. You're not careless, girl. Your life's so told. One girl, your life's so told. I say your life's so told.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Your life's so good. You look so good. Your life's so good. Oh gosh, you look so good. Yeah, why my head is rushing it?
Right.
Nah, you killed it just now.
Yeah, that music just put me in a little place, you know.
I
I'll be in my head, you know. And I could just, I could ignore all here and just do some things with myself and you know, because I saying it out because
wait a minute, let me walk out of the room.
No, I'm just saying. First, I just be in my head, you know. Yeah, I always in my head. I is a kind of emotional, you know, person. I in my mental a lot.
I hear that.
I in my mental a lot. So you see what I do there?
Yeah.
All right. So here what? As we say about in your head, something that I think is really important to talk about. I mean, if you have a show where one of these days we'll get a professional to come on and also talk about this. But I think it's a serious topic, you know, and especially in these times too, you know, mental health. You understand? It's something that especially, let me say, our community, how I grew up, even in the Caribbean community, growing up home, it's a topic it's taboo. We don't talk about that. We don't see mental health as an issue. You get sick physically, you get a cold, you get this, but people get in the head, people fight psychologically off, and that ain't nothing, just plain thing.
Right.
That was just normal thing back home, like a crazy man walking the street. He just is to be laughed at. Nothing to be taken serious and say, well, there could be a lot of issues. I mean, the body could get sick, the mind could get sick, everywhere could get sick. It could be spiritually sick, it could be all, you know. And I don't understand how come we feel like mental health is not important. What do you, you African descent, Ghana, you know, I don't know, is it the same?
It's the same. I don't know if it's probably a little bit worse, but like with my family, like not to bash them or anything like that, but if I'm like, let's say I'm having a bad day, if I'm crying or if I'm sad or whatever, it's like, why are you crying? Why are you crying for? What's wrong with you? Like, it's just like, you're not allowed to have like a break.
Right.
Like, everything is just supposed to be okay, you know? So,
I got you.
It's hard.
I've had this discussion with multiple people, I believe in Grenada, maybe Trinidad. No, I think it was, I can't remember with who. We had a discussion regarding what's at the disposal, what resources the islands in general lack for people suffering from mental health issues. So we've had this discussion. This is not something that new. I can't speak on it. Granted, I don't live in the Caribbean. But mental health is definitely something that obviously affects everybody, more or less. And being a guy, you see how you said you're not allowed to have a break. Like in the house, being a guy, there's something that comes with masculinity. And there's, I think it might be one of the downfalls of our generation is the fact that we're expected to hold in what we feel rather than speaking out or expressing what we should be expressing, which at the end of the day is it's not healthy to hold anything in. And so as a guy, you're not allowed to show emotion and you're expected to be this strong masculine figure. And masculinity is good, but masculinity is also, again, that super pro masculinity that we're encouraged to have is not healthy. It's not good for your mental health. It's something that will deteriorate at you. If you hold everything in time, it will deteriorate at you and you will have your meltdown. So
now, for me personally, like, I'll be sharing. Last 2 years, for instance, I've went through a little situation in my life, right? And where I lost someone, and you know it's a little broad. I'll give you all a little bit of the details. You know, June childbirth, she passed away, and it was not somebody let's say it was. I opening up. I'm cool with myself. My home, everybody good with it. We had the conversation, and you know, she died after about 4 days after childbirth, and that was October 2018, right? And she was somebody that was, and is not home. I'm putting it out there. It's not. It was outside of the relationship. It happened, and so she died, and child came, and obviously I can't go home to grieve about that or talk about that in that way. That's how I felt. Even though home afterwards was forgiving and she was like, okay, wife, it was like, we could talk about it. But I felt funny.
Right.
Going to her to talk. And even so, I couldn't spend time with the little baby as much because when I saw the baby, I saw her mother. and I was going through it for the longest. Like I was really out of it, really, really bad. Like I ain't even. And the thing is, no, what I'm getting to. The following carnival season is she's always there carnival on shows and all this stuff supporting, and she wasn't there in no time. Like it
messed with you.
Yeah, I was ignoring it for the longest while thinking we'll just go away. But then carnival come around, and just that friend supporting being there. I went on stage semifinals, and it's like I had a breakdown moment, right, where I forgot my performance, and I felt like I saw her in the crowd, right. My head was messing with me, and the worst thing after though is to finish, and then like you have some people come around, men especially. What's tripping this again on with the what
right.
There was a few people who came and said, boy, sorry, I don't know it going through, and if you want somebody to talk to, and thank you to those people. But there were most of them who was like, what the hell you doing, boy? That's tripping, boy. It's like the worst things.
Yeah.
So instead I I was trying to open up in a sense for me personally, and maybe, but I don't know what happened. I just lost it. And there was few men I could have say, sometimes you want that man
to come.
Ladies will come, comfort in that kind of way. But you still feel like there's some people and I always big up Poopa Lindy for that. Out of all the men, he had a bunch of, he was one of the men that just come and say, boy, life have a kind of, things just happen, and, you had to live on. He gave me the best advice. He was there. He was a shoulder, strong shoulder. He didn't judge me for what I did and all this stuff on. And it goes, and then, but I walk in the street at the time I was outside the show, and this guy, I don't know him from Adam. You see that stupidness he pulled there, and I said me talk about it. And I didn't even know what to say. I just stand up and I just watch him. And I'm like, imagine you being, like he being my father off, and something wrong with me, and I go to him. I wonder what would he tell his, how, So these things led me to think that, home, it's like a lot of people go through stuff and then they decide, you know what, I might as well keep it to myself.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the worst thing you can do.
And that's the worst thing. But you have not much people to go to. You understand? Thank God for the family. I have the friends, my wife, everybody who, but still, sometimes you just have these moments that it just can't control yourself. And a professional, there's hardly any places you can even go to say, let me go talk to somebody that's neutral. Don't know me from the Adam. They're hardly that, And here, basically, if you don't have insurance and all this good stuff, is the next thing.
That's
and especially
harder,
So just to go to say that, people, we need to just kind of, it's 2020.
Right.
You understand? We had to be able to talk. We had to be able to, and a professional can be afforded all the time. So for what's about those who just can't, go to a professional or go to, there's children who going through it.
Yeah.
There's some grown people walking around with some thick baggages they're carrying from childhood that they just don't know how to even.
Yeah, and that affects you later on.
Yeah. It does. It does. I even with all this happening this past few weeks, like everything was brought back to me from what happened. Like I start getting emotional for the slightest thing. This is why I don't want to even come do the show. Like I was in my feelings. Like I can't even watch TV properly and just death and seeing people that die and whatever. It like all these things was like, it gets to me. And like I didn't come out every time. It's here, basically here and home. GMGT. If you know any for the last, it's GMGT and home. That's been my life basically for this, even the quarantine and like I have no problem with it. But at the same time, I think I didn't really address some issues. I think I didn't really, I think I need to address some issues. You know what I mean? So just wanted to expose, because you never know, people out there, you have a lot of people who feel like it's you alone going through this. You understand? And I don't ever like to measure pain and say my pain is worse than yours. Or everybody have some different level of.
Yeah, everybody deals with things differently.
And this little thing might bother you in such a way.
As you said that, I just remember some my mother does tell me, it might be a bit inappropriate now, but anytime I try to compare something, it's how you know my mother, because my mother just as wild as I am, and we had a few, we had some issues within the family, and everybody's hurting, and I said something to counteract what she was feeling, not to like but just to say, well, I going through it too, and she's like, let's not measure penis sizes.
That sounds mad Russian.
Yeah, but
I was like,
what you're saying.
but that's what it is. It's like you're feeling it worse than me. It doesn't mean that I not feeling it too, right?
Yeah,
It's like we all have we all have we all have problems.
Yes,
and we all feel in pain, and we should all be feel free to discuss and not have to hold it in and suffer through it or go through it alone.
That's the thing.
Like all jokes aside, like seriousness though, like that's
No,
they
I
want to
understand.
sort of ease up the tension. My mother's mad too, so it's alright.
Yeah, but trust me, I get this thing. Mental health is like, and people going through it right now, because I've had situations. I see it in family and group chats and stuff that little talk was a joke being made in a group family chat, and one of the family members like took it the other way.
Yeah.
And at first I was like, well, what? Why? That's serious? Why? Blah, blah, But then I stepped
Just
back.
little triggers.
I stepped back and I was like, nah, maybe this thing really affecting her just as bad. You understand that certain jokes can't even resonate right now because of what she's, So bigger brother reached out to her and, just had the conversation, and she's like, yeah, like what's happening right now is really bothering her. She's donating her time to different drive, different this, and she's seeing things differently now. Like certain things is just not funny to her anymore because now she's exposing herself to much more than she was before.
Yeah.
You understand? She putting herself in certain. She going to shelter, she going to home, she going to feed people, she doing all these different things, and so even the joke was a kind of poor joke, but it was a joke.
Yeah.
But not knowing that, so I started saying, but I don't want the world to be this dark and gloomy place, right?
Right.
You understand?
Yeah, but at the same time, you still have to watch. What you say to certain people.
Yeah, the understanding right now, especially people a lot. Like I was taking on this thing, even the George Floyd, to a point that I felt I would have, like, I understood the rioters. You understand? Understand why you want to break up stuff and burn stuff. You don't want to, because I don't want to kill nobody. So what's the next best thing I could do to just let out some rage? You understand? And it's all mental. It's meant, are we having enough groups? Are we checking up on people? And always, the talk, we always have some strong one in the family that everybody believe is a strong one.
But it's actually carrying the weight for everybody.
You gotta check on those too.
Right.
You gotta check on them too.
And that person we never check up on. Like he good, man, or she good. She's the one that always have things together. Not knowing that one maybe is the one, And I always think to this actor, he started Miss Doubtfire, Robin Gibbons. Robin Williams. Yeah. And he killed him. He committed suicide, and I was like, he looked like one of the happiest person when you look at all his movies, fun. And people like say it's wrong with he, but you don't, because people think he have it together.
Yeah.
I think nobody wasn't on him like that. So I just saying to this to the people, watch, I ain't saying not in the dark and gloom, but we had to check up on people. We had to, just see what's going on there. Everything good, you sure? Ask her about 3 or 4 times. Because sometimes even when with my sister, when she called me and she talked to me a certain way, I always good. I good. I'm a thing. I good, man. I good. But she know the different tone. Yeah, she know the tones and whatever. She study me in that way that to know everything ain't good. And she'll ask me about 3 or 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, but to make sure.
Yeah.
And then you also have those people that don't really like when you ask too much. So like being there itself is a way to like let things out. But I saw a post recently that said what did it say? It was basically like even if your mother or your father is toxic, you should let them go. Like, how do you guys feel about that? Like toxic parents that just don't add I wouldn't say don't add value, but like, you know, you have the abusive ones, whether it's mentally or verbally. Like, how do you guys feel about being excommunicated with your parent?
Wow,
if they're toxic.
You're putting some kind of thing there, girl, because that's a hard one. You can never really truly give up your parents or give up. Yeah, some people close to you that you just always will be in contact with. You can't get away from them, but sometimes for your own good, you know, as you get to a certain point in your life, you had to separate yourself from certain things. Like, it's just that it's like I ain't have to be in your area 24/7 now.
Right.
They say, well, I could love you from afar.
Yeah, there is those times you have to step back. You know, no, that person may need help too, and you will feel that kind of way that you want to help them. It's like I always wondered how parents, like, they have a drug addict son or daughter, and how do you give up? Because it's unconditional. That's the true unconditional love is for a child. I mean, for man and woman is love, but unconditional love, where that person can almost do anything and you still love them, is like if you have it for your child. So just as you go to say for your parents is unconditional, for a child is the same thing. How do you really give up on that person? And no, I would personally would go see all avenues that I can go to try to help that person.
Yeah.
You know, I have it in me for that. I have the patience for that. Not everybody have that kind of patience. But I personally have the patience to not give up on people. You understand? As I say, there's always good in people, and I trust you until you give me a reason not to trust you anymore on this and that. But you just do it now. You just know what this person is, and you say, well, all right. You see, with this, that, I won't approach you with that. I'll kind of step back in this way, or you know, you have little things that you have to say, well, all right, I can't give you a 100% right now. Because sometimes one of the problem is that we kind of uphold the bad behavior, because like one of the things for us too is that we feed the bad behavior because we feel guilty.
Right.
You know, so where do we separate that line? So that's part of the stuff that where you could separate yourself now. All right, it's no more of this. I ain't giving you this again, I ain't giving you that again. We go do it a different way now.
Yeah, because it's draining, you know?
Yeah, it's draining. I ain't gonna give up on you, but we have to figure out, and that's why it's important now. Professional help. Somebody else might just have the answer. Somebody else study this thing in and out, and they could separate themselves, and that's why now if you could get that person into some kind of, you know, that help that they need, as I said, but not everybody can afford it. What do we do then? You know?
Well, just a recommendation. There's I forgot the name of the organization, but if you Google it, it's a place on Flatbush that they have free therapists for people.
Right.
So like if you have Medicaid, or I think even if you don't, like it's for free. Like they just have
So we'll put it up on the site and whatever.
Yeah. And then also there's an app called Mood Path. Like you could jot in like whatever you feel for the day, and it will give you an analysis at the end of the I think it's like for 2 weeks, like every day you write down how you feel and stuff. There's things out there, you know, like if you really, even if you don't want to go to a therapist, you don't want to talk to anybody, there's also apps out there. Thank God for technology.
Yes.
There's apps out there to help you with things like that too. So
it's a good time, and like Maria says, people need to stop being judgmental. Leave that to God. Claude says, "I'm boy, a story you give out. There's plenty men out there that go through similar things and can never be vulnerable." And that's one of the things we do like to be vulnerable as men. We hate that you know, and I just feel like, you know, how do we define masculinity? How do we define being a man? Like, you know, what is your definition of a man against mine, against his, against, you understand? I didn't have my father around to really show me this manly, you know, I didn't, you know? So I grew up looking at, like, for instance, in the 20s, somebody I listened to a lot in the morning was Steve Harvey. Genuine or not, whoever believe, I started feeling like that is my go-to. You understand? This is the guy, you know, I want to listen to as a man. So who do we... But this man, I seen this man crying. I seen this man being manly. I seen this man being strong. I seen this man being everything. So I say, yeah, that's how I am. I don't have a problem busting a little tears when I need to. You understand? I used to feel like that was a problem back then, you know. But when I see this big man doing that, I was like, okay, he's still a man. I still, you know, but we just have these things, you know, that, you know, and I just feel as men, you know, no, every generation different. Every generation think the next one is the worst thing. You understand? It's just normal.
But one thing about this generation is I feel like we're taking our mental health into consideration a little bit more.
More. Yeah. I see that. I see, like, what they call it, under 35, the millennials and
Generation
X.
and
It's a little bit much. Even that is a whole other topic on itself with how things are right now. how free we are, how I just feel like the balance too. Like there's like everybody wants to go extreme now. So I wonder how is that on the mental? Everybody feel like they need the likes, the social media. How is mental health on? Everybody know, you know, how is that affecting people mental health too, in a sense, because I see people right now, the things they're doing for the likes. I wonder and they call it an expression. Fine. Why some people genuine with it, you know, they cooler. But I realize that there is this craving now for likes.
Yeah, and I feel like some people are scared to be themselves too, because you have what they call the cancel culture is like, if I'm really myself, like, because you know, like people are easy to like cancel people. It's good and bad, because then you have somebody, there's a celebrity, her name is Doja Cat. She had like a couple, I think there was like some chat room, a racist chat room that they said it was, and she was in it, and then she also had a song called Didn't Do Nothing, which is like a racist term to black people from police. So like they canceled her, like things like that is like, okay, well, you know, you cancel, but then there's also people that are they're genuine themselves and they're not doing anything, they cancel them for like just because they don't like them, you know. So it's hard being on social media, like.
It's a battle out there. I see it. It's like
you gotta pick and choose. Like you gotta have that balance. You have to have that strength in your mind too.
Yeah. It's a strong thing. I mean, I'm in the music business, right? And for me, for instance, I put 99% of my stuff on social media is to do with music. You know, a positive message here and there and this and that. You know, I try to keep it in that realm, and I want people to like my music. Right? Yeah. I do. I want people to share my music. Right now, I want people to share the life. I want people to. This is the era we in.
Yeah.
But am I desperate? No. Like, is there a balance? You have a level of balance within yourself, because I wild and stupid. Everybody know that already. Like when I perform, and that's me in my house. If I don't know, my wife and know that. Yeah, nodding, man. That's me naturally, without the camera on me. You understand? Having fun in that kind of way. When, you know, when it comes to music and performing. But I see a lot of people going out of themselves just to, you know, like certain people, even though I ain't saying I ain't like to see them get on them looking nice and sexy and shit. I mean, yes, all the women that look good, all that look good. So I'll cry. Yeah, anyway, I cry. But there's this point where I'm actually getting tired of it.
Amen.
I'm actually getting tired of just seeing everything naked, like you have a thing and all your pics is in tongue or next thing. All. I ain't saying you can't feel free to, you know, okay, you know, be this new thing, but not all. There's some of them that I see this girl the other day, and she took out a picture in a full dress, and I almost didn't recognize her.
Oh my god!
I'm being honest.
When did I start following you?
No, but I'm serious, you know. But she looked beautiful. You understand? So I'm like wondering, is there any line we should draw now? Is this mental? Is it all this is I'm talking about too? The people are loving themselves. The people need likes to feel good about themselves. People need to be validated.
That's the generation we live in.
Yeah, that's the culture of it now.
And you know, I have an issue even my daughter. I wrote a whole song for her because she was struggling with herself. She feel like nobody giving her the attention and watching her. She feel like she wasn't beautiful.
Yeah.
You know, me telling her wasn't enough. I hadn't to tell her I love this little girl, and I was shocked now that when she come out and tell me straight, you know, I'm glad she did tell me. But I was like, I was shocked. And she just exposed, she said, you know, at school is like, she feels like she doesn't exist. Because she's not on the popular ones or this. I say, listen. And you know, she wouldn't know now. And you know, but I say, half of them go be working for you just now. You understand? They be, you know, but obviously no in the know, she will take that route. But
kids are mean as hell.
Yeah.
Oh, they are.
Yeah.
I struggled all through junior high, and I like
yeah.
But yeah, it's
how
some
the kids handle mental.
And moving forward, she's in high school, right?
Yeah.
I was going with my friend the other day. We were going through a yearbook, and we were laughing to say that all the girls, mind you, it's my home girl I was talking to, and we're talking, and I'm like, yo, all the girls that like I personally slept on in high school, right now scrolling that shit, I was like, damn,
they just look good.
They look real good. I was like, they get real good, and they just go inside. I got their things together enough times, and not everybody. And again, you know, but a lot of the people that were like maybe popular, sort of just like vanish or partied out. I partied out. I aged awfully. It just it worked for me because whatever. But people just like all the people you wanted to line with high school. You see them like 10 years later, and you're like. I happy I went my way. God bless. I hope everything goes well for you. But I ain't good. I real good. I staying on these sides here.
But you see what you're saying there, and stick don't go off of that. You see what you say high school, and you're saying one of the before all of we have had bullies where we had to face in school, and I mean back in my days, I a little back, you know. But no, I'm wondering not just in school like I was for my daughter. It's not just go to school and come. It's come home and she had this phone. And to put up if she put up a pic, if she had an IG or whatever, how, you know, the bullying, it doesn't stop now. Like before we had a chance to get away from it growing up. When it's such a, you know,
more or less.
You had a little time.
We from a different generation.
No fun. Well,
we from a different generation, man. It's alright.
So that's what
we sort of we were like, I think like just on like the edge of before things got really bad. But we were like the generation that just got in there where it was like you can't really escape the bullying. It just wasn't as severe as it is now because everybody sort of lives in their phone now. Whereas back in the day it was like you had your phone, but you ain't really had the unlimited plans, and you couldn't be on your phone all day and Instagramming all day and Facebook.
Was taking the phone
you know,
away at a
text messages 10 cents. You can't talk on the phone till 10 p.m. 9 p.m. whatever. I don't remember, but them times it was like you still had it going on. And I mean, I had it rough. Like junior high school. High school wasn't that bad. Junior high school was rough, but at the end of the day,
so how you
move forward. I really struggled with it. Junior high school, I really went through it. But like, it's something that you look back at as time passes, and it's a mindset thing. Once you tell yourself, well, who are you? Who are you to tell me anything?
Right. Yeah.
What are you doing that is going to push me forward or better me as a person or as a professional? If you're not doing anything, if you have no kind of control over where I stand in my personal life, in my professional life, your opinion of me is completely irrelevant. And that's something that has to be conditioned because again, we're raised in a way we can't really communicate that, and it's not okay that we can't, you know, express ourselves. But at the end of the day, we are taught to sort of just hold it in and don't complain and don't snitch and don't do this and don't do that, and you had to handle it on your own. And the reality is you have no sort of hold over my life. Therefore your opinion is not worth me even like holding it, you know, like even keeping that in my mind, because at the end of the day, you have no effect on my life.
No validation.
And that's why I'm saying, moving forward, when you condition your mind in that sense and you move forward with it, and you know, years pass, you look at it and you're like, did I really stress about this? Was this really a concern of mine? Because look at you now and look at me now. And it's not just thing, you know, everybody has their own thing, and I hope everybody think it, but to say, yo, your little opinion was this and this and all, it was making fun of me and so and so and so, but You on my Instagram right now, you're liking that video of me in front of 100 people, 200 people, 1,000 people.
Yeah, it's
But,
so what?
But what I want to do though is like tell parents like take a different approach towards the children now. It's no rule.
It's a different time.
Yeah. And there's no rule book to really say what really should do. But communication is always
it's
key.
important to stay on top.
Yeah, and the kind of as your parent and I do as I say, and this kind of rough thing is not
Doesn't
always
work.
it doesn't work. That does push a lot of children, especially in this. They're exposed to so much more now. I mean, my 9-year-old nephew, the way he thinks and whatever.
Yeah, they know more than us
Right.
now.
And I think we had the approach shouldn't be of one way. I ain't saying you have to be friends, with your but there's had to
But
be
at the
this
same
level
time,
of
you
balance.
shouldn't. There's a lot of parents that they belittle their children too.
Right, and
so
that-
it's like they're
so
not
who do
only
you go
getting it
to?
in school, that you getting it from your parents as well.
Right. And leading to no, there are a few who slip through the cracks, and then you hear about suicide, this and so. What caused all that too? I mean, my daughter is not nowhere close to that. I mean, I just say how she is right.
Right.
I wanna
There's
hope-
degrees. There's degrees to
Right.
that. So
Because imagine you're in school
how
now.
are we paying attention to?
to not even go into like the extreme.
Yeah.
Because there's other ways people cope, obviously, aside from suicide, and that would be, drugs or even your surroundings, even getting involved with certain people that you shouldn't, and you would know better if you had the proper amount of support, the right people around you from start. The important thing is to stay, and again, I don't have kids, but for what it's worth, it's important to communicate and really just not be on top of them, because you said that hard kind of parenting, it just doesn't work right now.
Different.
Times are definitely thing, and children are growing up significantly faster. I mean, mentally, I think we're growing significantly faster. Sometimes I'm scrolling on my Instagram and I see somebody looking good. And then you open their page, I'm like, yo, they're 16. They just had their 16th birthday. And I'm like, why do you look like that? When I was 16, the girls in my class didn't look like that. We're growing up too fast. And and at the end of the day, that whole my house, my rules, that could only work for so much. You had to set up, you had to set the rules, but you had to do it in a way where you still make a child feel comfortable enough to come to you, rather than how you said belittling them or making them feel uncomfortable. Because at the end of the day, that's where they had to lay their head to rest. And if they don't feel comfortable coming home to you,
young girls and boys get running away too, because they're trying to.
If they're
like
not
you're getting it in
comfortable with you,
school and then you're getting it at home, so it's just like, okay, well, where
seen
can
it
I go?
happen, gangs, all kind of thing, and drugs and
to feel welcome.
What y'all think on the live? Just y'all can share your opinions too, how we could solve it, how we could help, and if there any professional, they could also share the links of people we could actually, we could share the link on GMGT, and y'all could go to it later on and so on. But there's a lot, you understand? So mental health, let me take it serious, people. Let's take it more serious than we are right now, and hopefully things work out for the best, and that's all we can hope for, right? So now, the bacchanal corner we go.
The what?
Well, yeah, he don't like bacchanal, but we go still announce it. What we doing? From time to time. Well, from 8, we're gonna have a segment called the Bacchanal Corner. We want you, the listeners, the viewers, to write in. You can inbox us. You can go to DM.
All the dirty laundry.
Right. Well, any
call name, I go whistle.
No, we have particular topics, but we can just do it. Whatever you feel like you want to let off your chest, you can do it anonymously. You know what I mean? You can say whatever you want. You're having some issues with your boyfriend, your girlfriend, with your parents, your friends, whatever the situation may be. Write it. Let us hear your story. We want true, genuine story. We could go and get stories too. Now. There are stories that we can go get and talk about, but we also want it from you guys. Yes. So we want you all to write, even if it's a friend that you want to talk about, giving advice to, write into us. All right, we want to start that. Huh? You can send voice notes to on WhatsApp. WhatsApp 347-309-5254. All right, you could go GMGT.LIVE. That's Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. You know, you could inbox us. You could do just, hey, support the show. Share up the thing too. Right now, as we know the back in our corner, before we go into the next set of music and vibes and stuff, we want to bring on somebody here. Yeah, I know this, but we put a person on the spot. But I feel it's important. You know, we want to highlight a small business every show. We want to have someone here, you know, talk about their business and how they get to where they get to, what they do. So, this time we are bringing in the owner and CEO of GMGT. Yes, Mr. Kareem. Yes, come boss, come. Oh no, give us some love for the owner. Where you settling your ticket? Oh yeah, you're good there. Where you coming? All right.
You comfortable?
Mic too? Okay.
I'm comfortable.
Yeah. All right.
You hearing me?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Loud and clear?
Loud and clear.
All right, let me see if I could get a good video so people know what I look like.
Yes, people, I want you all to, you know, I had to, we had other interviews, you know. We put him on the spot. He wasn't expecting this. No, this brother is doing a lot of great things. You understand?
Trying to do something great.
Listen, in this GMGT, we don't try, we do.
True.
We don't try, we do.
That is a fact.
All right? And everybody, that's the motto. We don't try, we do. Whatever happens, you know what I mean, the results, we will get there. We take our time and get the results that we want. But we do it. All right? And this brother is doing the things. And I want to give me some love give me some hearts, some likes for this brother here, Kareem. Kareem, welcome to your show.
It's not my show.
No. You own this. You run this.
This is all you.
I'm proud to say I'm working for a young man as yourself. I want to say a young black man, but a young man. Right now, I'm trying to stop with the labels. You are a young man doing your thing.
Thank you, sir.
You
Appreciate that.
Saying?
Appreciate that.
And it's a pleasure to work for you, my brother.
Thank you.
To see what you did.
Yes, amazing.
First of all, how did you come up with everything? What's your whole idea behind everything?
So, for me, radio was a big part of my life growing up. Right. Like the platform of radio. Loved music. I had an older cousin that I used to look up to a lot. Like holidays, vacations, I would be at my aunt's house, and he was a DJ. So that was kind of my first love into music and stuff. And he did radio, he did mixtapes. So that was kind of my, the guy I idolized. So when I migrated to the US, one of the things that kept me connected to home was radio. I wanted to listen to, the reggae. But what I soon figured out was there was no such platform available in New York City where I can just turn the radio on and hear people that sounded like me, or, heard people speak about things that I wanted to hear or relate to.
Right.
It just wasn't that. So eventually I started listening to some of the, the bootleg, what we call underground stations in New York City. And me and my friend Silence, DJ Silence, he was the first person I approached. I'm like, listen, what I'm seeing out here doesn't make sense. Let's do something that's, on a professional level.
Right.
And the first studio, that was what we call Spice Jams Radio. We did that in like 2010. At that point, I had a roommate. We had a 2-bedroom apartment, and I moved out. Right? To chase that dream of starting this thing. And at first, my eyes was like, yeah, I'm gonna get into this.
Right.
Next year we're gonna be the biggest thing in New York City. And
I know about
me and DJ Silence, we're gonna be millionaires. Everybody's gonna know us. Right?
It's coming soon.
Yeah. So then the actual work,
the reality,
began,
and you're like, damn, maybe 2 years.
Yeah, how can I do this and still be able to afford to keep a roof over my head? Because now I went into my own 2-bedroom apartment and I set up a studio in the second room.
Mm-hmm.
So I moved out from a comfortable financial situation, and I decided I was gonna start pushing the envelope because I wanted to realize that dream. Life happened. a few years later, now I own a house. I have a daughter, so I kind of backed off that venture. But sometimes when you have that little itch,
to scratch it.
It don't go away.
Yeah,
you might
scratch it.
it don't go away.
Yeah.
So this time I decided if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it all the way. Yeah, I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna, make the actual sacrifice. So this manifestation here has actually been a few years in the making. I started planning in 2016, right? And I incorporated, so I'm doing everything the right way now. Incorporated, started buying up the equipment piece by piece by piece. And
I know about that.
So piece by piece by piece. And now I decided I was going to do it the right way. Also, what you guys may not know, once we start audio streaming, when the new website drops, we're going to be have what's called a commercial webcasting license. Meaning that artists, once they're registered with the with Sound Exchange, they will pick up royalties from us. So we're not
Let me stop recording music.
Hold on. You see what I tell all it with this guy? How this guy doing his
On
stuff?
point.
This is why I'm done with him 150%. This is why even when I was trying not to say I would come, I had to come. I had to pause it for a minute.
That was the other part of why I set up here too. I'm like, I'm gonna set up the dopest studio in New York City. When people come here,
I have it there.
When people come here, they should be like, when do I get to come back? Yeah. So take that.
You dropping another ball? I'm a boy ton fun flex.
So the other part of it too is that in my professional life, so I actually quit my 9 to 5 to do this full time because I believed in it. Sometimes they say when you're trying to sell something, you don't tell people about the what. You don't say, okay, I got a car, it has 389 horsepower with a VTEC this. 90% of the people wouldn't understand that. But if you tell them why, right? Why am I doing this? It'll resonate.
Right.
And the why I'm doing this is because I believe we have too much of a rich culture. The music, the food, the people in New York City. For somebody, we don't have anything like this in New York City. Nothing. And we have too many international DJs and who are spreading the culture around, and nobody has ever thought about doing something like this. I can't tell you the amount of studios I've seen where we're bringing in big artists to do like concerts and they have to bend down, like, avoid the boiler, the pipes running across, they have to look down, before they sit in there for 5 minutes, they sweating. Like,
I got you.
Who are we pushing this culture to? That's why nobody's taking us seriously.
And it's okay to start somewhere.
Yeah, it's that.
Definitely.
You say that then. I could say 5 years ago, I could go certain studio and still come back the same thing.
Yeah.
So which means they ain't taking this culture that
initiative, right? Any initiative to grow it.
I understand what you're saying. Not to look down on anybody who had days where you start but at some point
I started somewhere too.
Exactly. So that's why I want to get to that point and not make it look like
Yeah.
Yeah. But I get to
and even with the old studio, like it was like pieces of ply I set up and I have videos and stuff. I'm gonna start putting out some videos to let people see the evolution of where we came from.
Right.
And I made sure and put the work in. It doesn't take money to do something professional. Professionalism is not equipment.
Right.
Yeah, we have the good stuff here, but professionalism is you showing up every morning for 6 o'clock on time.
Right.
I feel the shade because I got here at 6:05 and last week I was here at 6:07. So I feel like I'm being attacked right now on the show. It's just
no. So good.
It's the when people come here, they expect like a good set.
Yes.
They expect you to speak from the heart.
Right.
They expect you to that's professionalism,
Yes.
because I could have $1 million studio here, and it's the people that makes it.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's why I was very particular. That's why I don't even have a 24/7 schedule yet.
Right.
Because everybody that I brought in here, because we were recruiting early.
Yes,
early, like even before the studio
Yeah.
actually went up like this.
I know that.
And we were getting like, yeah, so what are they gonna do for us? I'm like, so my inner team, I was like, guys, don't worry about it. As soon as we go on the market and people see the shiny new toy, everybody's gonna start hitting us up now.
Yeah.
Everybody's gonna start hitting us up. So I said, don't worry about it. So now we are particular.
Yeah.
Hey, what is this person like? Because I believe in maintaining peace. So everybody that joins the team has to have that,
Right.
that energy, that
Family.
Yeah. Because everybody here is family. Everybody here is family. And the why is that we need to push our culture on a level that it deserves. We don't need to just talk it.
Remember that.
We need to
Drop a bomb on
we need to
Definitely.
because you know how many years soca need to be a category in the Grammy.
But even on this,
Where? Where? When the Grammy guys come through and start interviewing, where are they gonna sit down and interview us? We don't
Right
have
under the boiler.
right
next to the boiler.
yeah, Yes, sir.
Sometimes artists come in and when they're talking on the mic ain't working. So what are you doing?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Standards.
Yeah, what are we doing? And yeah, the other reason too is that I love the culture so much that I was in my 9 to 5 and I had a good job.
Yeah, I know that.
Listen, bro, I woke up every morning at 8 o'clock. I walked into my office at 10, and most days I left at 5.
Wow.
Yeah. And I used to like mix and mingle with big names, but what happened is that those were the people that gave me the inspiration to say, hey, I can do this too. Yeah,
It's always the surroundings.
Yeah, I used to be a business, what's called a business relationship manager. So I handled like business clients that were anything of $1 million and up, like in revenue.
Wow.
And I met a lot of minorities that owns businesses, and the one thing I always did was pick their brains. Like, okay, how did you do it? Where did you get your start? What was the inspiration? What thing? And it's always, at some point you have to dedicate your entire energy
towards.
Yeah. And at that point I knew, I said, listen, I love the job that I do. The money's comfortable, but if I got to do this,
One question.
Yeah.
When you're doing something like that,
Yeah.
and you have a family,
Yeah.
how did the
Scary.
family react?
So
Tell me that part.
this is a true story.
Yeah.
I went to my wife. I'm like, listen, I'm about to quit my job and do this full time. I'm not asking your permission. I'm letting you know.
Where's your wife from?
This is what I'm doing.
I'm afraid to put the explosion on that.
Yeah.
Drop a bomb on it.
What? Yeah, because I felt so passionate about it. And you know what? She's always supported. She's not vocal, and she doesn't do like the social media and stuff like that.
Right.
But you see the other little things, like make sure my daughter is ready, so that's one less thing for me to think about. Put things in place so everything is in place.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's why I have
So
to be
in the morning when I wake up to come downstairs here,
bad boy,
I
man.
don't have to worry about leaving here and then running upstairs, and
Right.
and everything is thing. So she supports in the way that she knows how to. She's not the one that's gonna be on social media like, yeah, follow us.
Yeah.
Tag this.
You just made me feel bad. I get it. I took him away from his studio last week to drop me on my bicycle home. I'm never drinking here again.
That's how the brother is.
I'm not drinking here again.
So, but that was the conversation. I was like, listen, but I think she knows me long enough to know that I will not do anything that's gonna jeopardize the family. So I definitely put things in place, and everything is in place whereby I can rock for a while before things start to get,
Right.
crazy. But yeah, that's it. I mean, right now, like it's where the culture lives. So
for real,
the what I envision for us becoming in is the predominant or the premier destination for everything regarding our Caribbean culture in New York City. Wow. So if an artist come through, managers, promoters, y'all should know where you guys are coming, because our surroundings is welcoming, it's professional and comfortable. You come in here and you sit down, everything is good.
The bar is stocked.
The bar is stocked.
I know firsthand.
There's a lounge area outside.
There's a lounge. There's a nice, comfortable leather chair in the studio. Yeah.
AC,
all kinds of around.
Listen, man.
So
this brother, listen, I can't stop bigging you up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's an inspiration.
Yeah.
You know,
so
you are.
I'm very proud.
And what I gotta say is besides having the vision, what made me go from where I was to where we are right now is the team that's around me.
Right.
So Silence, Splash, Micah, Tamika, Keisha, those are the guys that are executing.
Right.
Because I am not like the social media guru.
Right.
So I usually say, hey, this is what we need to execute, and then it gets done.
Right.
So that's one of the things too I learned from like a lot of the business owners. You are only as good as your team.
Yeah. And I saw somebody the other day saying there's someone who you have the idea. You need someone to articulate the idea.
Yep.
You need someone to execute and strategize on the idea. You need, and when you have that solid team, listen.
Yeah. And that's what made me make the decision, because back then I was like, okay, do I really want to leave my job to really do this? Do I love soca and reggae that much? But once I got these team members around me, I was like, I'll go to hell with these people, because I know.
Heaven.
No, I'll joking. Yeah, because I know, that they're just as passionate about me, and they